Hi, welcome. I am Sharice Taylor, the host of the Time Matters Facebook page and podcast. And today my guest is Ernisha Hall. Thank you for taking time to speak with me today and welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me. I look forward to
Absolutely.
talking with you.
Great. So we're going to be talking about entrepreneurship and how time matters in all that you do. And so you are an entrepreneur. Can you tell me about the businesses that you have?
The businesses that I have, I own Nire LLC, which is a website, graphic design, and branding company. And I'm also the founder of the the co-owner and co-founder of the Virginia Black Business Directory, which is a nonprofit organization that is a directory of Black-owned businesses in the DMV. We do community events and networking in order to help Black-owned businesses increase their exposure and visibility in the community.
Excellent. And so, as we talk about entrepreneurship and what you're doing, I always speak from the lens for students and the families that support them about the importance of time and what you do with your time and why that matters. So,
Mhm.
as an entrepreneur, can you talk about the why for starting those businesses? What was it that made you want to go into being your own boss?
Okay. Well, one thing I always tell my own daughter is to be intentional. Well, I was the exact opposite with our first business, Nire LLC. It happened by accident. I was in school full time, going for my master's in social work, and I had time to design things for friends. I was designing wedding stationery and invitations, and then a friend asked us to design a website. Eventually, the requests became frequent, and another friend suggested we turn it into a business. Well, I also have my master's in business, so why not utilize a degree that I already have?
Right.
And that's the why behind Nire LLC. Because we could, and now 3 years later, it is my absolute passion, and I love it. It is my full-time job. I do not intend on working for anyone else ever again. The directory, the Virginia Black Business Directory, that was more intentional. We wanted to help the community. We wanted to have another way to help businesses be successful, not just through website design and branding with Nire, but also through connections. And that's one thing that in our community we don't have a lot of connections, or we don't know how to make those connections and grow from them. So through the Virginia Black Business Directory, everyone's connected on our website and mobile app, because now consumers can download the mobile app, and with intention, they could support a Black business for whatever they're looking for.
I like that you talk about having intention. And for students, it's kind of hard. You're going through your high school years, trying to figure things out. You're trying to decide, what am I going to do after high school? Some will take the path of going to college. Some will go right to the workforce or the military. And I like that you said you kind of fell into Nire because of the
Hmm.
things that you did that you enjoyed doing, that then said, you know what, I'm going to take this degree and create this business. Um, how has social media impacted your businesses, and also any tips that you can offer for students as they, we're in the world of social media. Can you talk about the positive or negative impact that may have on their opportunities, whether
Hmm.
they go into business for themselves or not?
Well, social media is very influential, as we all know, and it's so many different platforms, from Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok now. It's influential in getting your brand out there and becoming recognized and becoming respected. The biggest con about social media is that eventually, if you use social media so much, you start to lose your privacy. You lose your sense of who you are if you utilize social media to communicate with family and friends long distance. So that was the downfall a little bit with regards to social media. My social media is no longer my own; it's the community's. However, it also helped us to grow, because what's the best thing that happens to me on social media? Someone says, "Hey, do you know anybody that designs websites?" And guess what? We get tagged in that post, and that helps us to gain business and we grow as a company. So it really just depends on how you utilize social media.
Mhm.
But now you have to be very mindful of everything you put out there because social media is there forever. Even if you delete it, someone could have screenshotted it or screen
Mhm.
recorded it. So you just want to be intentional with what you put out there.
And I think that's so important. The connections that you talked about are important, and that students need to learn that their connections in school, their connections in whatever activities they participate in, lead to the ability to learn how to keep those connections and grow those connections, and know that you are not just helping yourself, but you're helping somebody else. And you never know who they know that can help you later on. And so I talk a lot about networking and the significance of that. So you mentioning that is really important. You talked about college. And so can you speak to the benefits that that gave you um, going to college? Everyone does not have that as part of their plan, but for those that
Hmm.
do, how has it helped you with your businesses?
So college has helped me because it gave me book smarts. So there's this thing that I believe a lot of people don't recognize, younger people, and they will recognize it once they get older. But there is a thing called life experience and book smarts,
Mhm.
and for a lot of professions, you need both. So for me, I have a bachelor's in forensic psychology, a master's in social work, and a master's in business. All three of my degrees, the one thing that they have in common is that they've taught me interpersonal skills. They've taught me how to communicate with others. They taught me how to understand the language because I'm going to have some clients that are very educated and I need to be able to meet them where they are in the conversation. And then I have clients that are very experienced and I need to be able to understand them and the human perspective that they're coming from based on their life experience. So college has helped me in that way. I feel like no one can really talk down to me. Well, they can't talk down to me anyway unless you let them,
Right.
but they can't talk down to me as if I don't have knowledge, as if
Mhm.
I don't know. And you know, college is not for everyone. You can be successful without going to college, but you have to also know you want to at least go into a training program, a certificate program. Education is still necessary, and it's necessary even when you hit 40, which is me, or 50 or 60, because you always have to continue learning and polishing yourself off.
Excellent. That's great. And I really think how you said that is really important and very impactful. You have shared many, many pearls of wisdom, and I think they will benefit many students and their families. Um, do you have any other things that you'd like to share? Any tips about success, your definition of success?
Well, success is definitely what you make it. I believe success is about creating a plan. You have to plan, you have to be intentional, and being committed to following through with that plan. That's success because you get to define and measure your own success. One thing I will say to the younger generation is just remember whatever you put on social media can impact your job opportunities, can impact your academic opportunities. They can impact your opportunities, period, because people are going on social media to see who you are, to see what you're putting out there. So just be mindful and intentional that everything that you put online, someone can see, and they're using that information to determine if you're a great fit for their organization or to utilize your services or products.
Excellent. Wow. I just want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to speak with me about what you do and the importance. I appreciate it. I'm a part of the Virginia Black Business Directory, and I appreciate that. And I just always in my conversations remember how you spend your time matters. Thank you so much for taking time to speak with
Thank
me
you.
today.